my honest opinion about certain waifus, part 2. Now we have to talk about Kaori Itadori, plus Kenjaku. But first,
Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, that the love of your life, who was a thick little baddie, ended up dying and some rando took over their body. Are you still cracking? Because I know I am.
You know what? I'm not even mad at his decision making. I just feel like I'm too straight for this conversation.
What if I told you Yuji's mom is actually the freakiest sorcerer? That is because Yuji's mom is not who you think she is. She's in fact controlled by the freakiest sorcerer ever, Kenjaku. If you guys don't know, the newest episode of season 3 of JJK just came out and we got to see Yuji's mom. However, she has lines on her head just like Geto. But that is because they are not actually who they were. They were in fact controlled by somebody named Kenjaku. Kenjaku's a sorcerer with the ability to take over people's bodies. He took over Geto's body, and before that, he was in fact inside Yuji's mom. And with
Oh Lord! Alright, let's back all the way up for a second. If you've never watched Jujutsu Kaisen, then you probably don't understand what those guys were talking about. So I'll explain it in simple terms so we can all crash out together. Alright, like the guy said, Kenjaku is a sorcerer in JJK who took over Yuji's mom, Kaori Itadori, and then received the malevolent back shots from Yuji's dad, Jin Itadori, making Kenjaku technically Yuji's mom. Oh my god! Now here's why I had to do some research because I couldn't figure this out for the life of me. Why go so far for an evil plan? And I mean, in other shows, you have villains that would do crazy stuff for their plans. You know, kill women and children, commit genocide, turn a child into a freaking mutated dog, kill all their friends. But this is different. This is on a whole nother level of freakiness. Bro took over Yuji's mom's body and stayed in it for a very long time. At least long enough for the stitches on her head to heal. So, yeah, it's safe to say that he was enjoying the back shots. What? But see, that's the problem. He is not really a he or she. After looking into Kenjaku's past, I've realized one thing and one thing only. This man is nothing but a monster. Don't think man or woman when you think about Kenjaku's sex. Think more like Pennywise the clown. Now, if you know anything about Pennywise the clown is also called It. Now, he's called It because he's not really a clown. Pennywise's true form is Death of the Deadlights, which is a form that if a person looks at it can cause immediate insanity, catatonia, or death. So think of Kenjaku as the same thing, except a little bit different. Kenjaku's overall sex is not confirmed at all. And I know you're used to seeing him as Suguru Geto, but that's not his body. The first body Kenjaku was in was an unnamed person that was apparently a man. And 400 years later, after he left that man, he took over another man named Noritoshi Kamo. And during this time period when he took over this guy, he also eventually made the death paintings, which are low-key Yuji's stepbrothers, or more or less Chozo. Now after he left Noritoshi's body, he then took over Yuji's mom's body. After she died, and that's very important, she was dead before he took her over. Now, it's not stated if Kenjaku killed her or not, but I wouldn't doubt it. And one of the reasons he took her over is because Jin Ichidori's family has a connection with Sukuna. Kenjaku wanted to use Kaori's body to orchestrate Yuji's birth, basically creating the perfect vessel for Sukuna. So more or less Kaori, Yuji's mom, was used as a biological incubator. And I looked up how Kenjaku's brain transplant power works too. And specifically, it allows him to swap bodies with another person, even if they're dead, by transplanting his brain into the body of his target. And after the transplant, this technique leaves a stitched scar running horizontally through the forehead, which he cannot heal as a part of his binding vow. And once inside the body, Kenjaku gains access to the host's cursed energy and all their innate abilities, and techniques, and memories. So more or less you can say he almost perfectly becomes the person. And he's been doing this for thousands of years. And even when switching to a new body, Kenjaku retains access and usage of his former host's innate techniques. So my point is, Kenjaku is not a dude or a female. Kenjaku is a monster, like just straight up. And he's a monster who can use a person's body, basically like a puppet, to do whatever he wants with it. In Yuji's mom's case, it was receiving back shots every single night. Now in all honesty, my moral compass is confused here because this is a type of monster that I'm just confused by. Would it be wise to smash or not? And I mean, Yuji's dad did. Even when Yuji's grandpa told him the truth about his wife, bro was still so adamant about having a child with Kaori that he was like, I still hit though. It's amazing because this man knew. This man had to know because it was either he knew or he was just being ignorant to the fact that it could be a possibility. But either way, Yuji's dad gave them malevolent back shots to Kenjaku and Yuji popped out, possibly knowing that his actual wife was already dead. So bro either didn't care or Kaori Itadori was just that fine. And honestly though, nah, I couldn't do it. But Yuji's dad and many other people that live in reality would. And can I even blame them though? Hell no! I'm telling you, Yuji's dad even hit, knowing that it could possibly be a monster. And Jin Itadori seems to love Yuji, but apparently he didn't love Yuji enough to care about his suffering. And if Yuji's dad, a man who loves Yuji, didn't care enough about Yuji not to smash, Why would anyone else? Say what you want, viewers, but the booty talks, and when it says jump, a lot of men are saying how high, despite the fact that it could be a monster. So more or less, Kaori Itadori is too bad to pass up for most men, and Yuji's dad, Jin, is low-key based.